Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games. This is the finals of an incredible event. 37 players for the ELD Premodern Open. Thank you to Duress Crew and everyone that helped promote and make this such a record-breaking gathering. I'm looking forward to the next one on February 17th, where we again will have feature match coverage. Brad has been on a tear with his Terrageddon list. Meddling Mage. Gonna try and slow things down, give the big boys some time to show up and close things out. You do not want to get run over by a quick deck like Sligh. I don't actually know who would be favored in this matchup. It's very interesting. I think it's going to be very play dependent, and we'll see what types of plays they're prioritizing. We've got Call of the Herd trying to add a little bit of a board presence here. So far, we saw Grim Lavamancer shot on sight. Swords to Plowshares. Cannot let that guy stick around. Just way too much value, both in controlling the board and in whittling away those final few points of life. Meddling Mage was taken out with an Incinerate. Jared has kind of the classic, iconic lineup here. Mog Fanatic, along with Jackal Pup, representing 3 damage a turn. This fatty wants to put an end to it, but only a 3 power. I don't love that with Barbarian Ring on board. Oh, Lightning Bolt. Oh, clean answer to Terravor. That is brutal. See if he has anything else in hand. Meddling Mage. I thought I saw a Mulch earlier. May have been when I was clicking through, though, to find all the thumbnails. It looks like 5 cards in the graveyard. 2 Barbarian Rings on board. This is a lot of potential damage. Jared thinking here if he wants to swing. And he opts not to, preserving the Jackal Pup. We know if you would have offered the trade there. Got Mulch now. A little late. That Terravor already was cleared by a single bolt. If you can get your Terravor into double burn range, it's going to be really difficult for your opponents to throw that much burn at it and still have enough to finish off the game. Incinerate up top. Barbarian Ring takes out the Meddling Mage, and now 4 comes across, leaving Brad 9 points of life left. 6 on board by sacrificing the Mog Fanatics. The Sylvan Library, not super exciting. Basically just looking at the same cards over and over again. Terravor. Last time was handled with Lightning Bolt, this time out of range. Love to see it. Fun to watch Brad all day here, but he is up against a very fast deck with precious little life, and this does not run counterspells. This is a green-white deck. Not a ton of ways of stabilizing. Swords to Plowshares can potentially be turned against his own creatures to gain life. Is not the primary use of that card by any stretch, but it could be a necessary play. Often a good reply to a final attempt involving cards like Fire Blast, leaving your opponent hobbled as they just go all in. Sometimes you can just squeak out a few extra points of life and stabilize after they've committed those resources. Brad pauses, and he just jams an Armageddon here. Gonna see a shock up top. Get him down to 7. That makes Terravor probably like a 13-13. Is quite large. Yeah, looks like a 7 on that green die. Needs anything for the crackback. He's got 6 on board. He just needs land burn spell. That is how you draw it up. Or, nope, no burn spell. Brad up a game, just 1 game away from taking this whole thing down. Jared comes out swinging with a turn 1 Jackal Pup. Ox Diamond. Windswept Heath for Brad. Swords to Plowshares at the ready, and now Grim Lavamancer. Feels like that pup cleared the way. And I hope that Brad doesn't have another piece of removal and that this Lava Man can actually do some work. It doesn't swing for as much each turn, but cards like Meddling Mage show up. He does very heavy lifting. Monk Fanatic joins the squad here. See Terravor. Fetch land in play. I'm actually surprised to see Sylvan Library still in the deck. Oh, I actually don't like that at all. So we got a Bolt upstairs, and then Meddling Mage gets cleared by the Grim Lavamancer. Jackal Pup adds even more damage. Nice little party of creatures here. Terravor only has Brad's side. Right now, it looks like just 3 power. Ball Lightning. We can swing with Ball Lightning for sure. Push through 3. The question is, do you send anything else? I think you can throw the Jackal Pup in here as well. Trade the Mog Fanatic and the Jackal Pup for the Terravor. Either that or you keep them both home. I think this is the way to go. 1 up top, 8 damage comes in, down to just 5. I think that's how you gotta play burn. Single burn spell off the top ends it, as Grim Lavamancer has nearly enough fuel to finish it all by himself. Oh, wow. Armageddon. Down to 3, but it's a standstill. If he swings with the Terravor, a crackback is lethal. And there's plenty of lands in the graveyard to fuel this Grim Lavamancer. Jared just needs a land. There's a Barbarian Ring. This is going to be just tap, tap, end step. Hit him, untap, take him out. And just like that, Jared has evened the score. Heading into a final decisive game to see who will be the ELD Premodern Open champion. Brad on the play in this final decisive game. Again, a Jackal Pup. Really as good an opener as you can have for this deck. If they don't have the removal, it represents a ton of extra damage. Of course, as we saw, keeping Grim Lavamancer around. Incredibly important. Up as a lose-lose for your opponent. They take a bunch of damage. Oh, but he's got the second swords. That is how you draw it up. He's got the second swords. Grim Lavamancer taken out. All of the herd now. board superiority, a 3/3 versus a 1/1. Jared's entire deck can do 3 damage, though. He's got Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt. Nothing yet. Incinerate. So many cards can handle this elephant. Brad's still at 20 life. Now 19. Fetch helping him out a little. Jared sure is happy to get the point, but not happy for what it represents. Another elephant, Call of the Herd, being flashback. And Jared's just throwing it at the face. Got an Incinerate. Now another Jackal Pup and a Cursed Scroll. Going upstairs with the burn, says, let him have the elephants. I'm going to try and outrace it. Ooh, and an Engineered Plague. Wow. This is not the best news. Once he names Goblin, he will not be able to sacrifice the Mog Fanatic. He does name Goblin. And I don't know about naming Goblin. I think you might actually want to name Jackal Pup, or as we see here, Elemental. Does he have an answer? So he last breaths the Jackal Pup and takes 6 from the Ball Lightning down to just 10 life. And he has... Is this lethal on board? After this 6... Yeah, he's presenting lethal damage. It's got to be... Got what? The Just Fire Blast is all he can have here. Wooded Foothills. Needs double Fire Blast. Plus this Cursed Scroll. Sends for lethal. He's got a Incinerate. Buys a little bit of time here. Another Terravore. Fetches end of turn. 1 card in hand. He's got 1 Fire Blast. He shows it. Letting Brad know. He needs 1 of 3 outs. Here we go. Oh, and it's the Fire Blast. Unbelievable way to finish an incredible event. Jared top decking like an absolute villain to end Brad's run. It was not his story. It was actually Jared's story all along, as he is the ELD Premodern Open champion. What a way to finish that match. Unbelievable.